G'day everybody, welcome back to another Friday Front Bar here at the magnificent All Nations Hotel. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh, Carlton Draft, Andy Marr, Sam Pang and Bobby O'Kane joining us in the finest tradition, round 23 tradition of clubs resting players. We thought it was time for Malloy to have a spell. So Bobby, good of you to step up, mate.
Thanks very much. I've trained all year for this, boys.
He brings a fairly well-oiled elbow to the front bar, I reckon.
He does, and the first thing he said is just reminded me that, Bobby, you are filling in for Mick today. So if you could be half as funny as you normally are, that would be. that's what we're after, mate. Just to make it a seamless transition.
Very good. What's going on here then?
It's all good.
You're filling in for me?
I'm just filling in.
What, couldn't get Hugh Jackman? I mean, what? Bobby, out. That's it. Get out.
Can I take the beer?
Yes.
This was put on the agenda straight after Fremantle's game last week, wasn't it, with Ross Lyon? They can't go anywhere. They're a game and a half clear. No one around.
Is this new, though?
No, he did it in 2013.
Collingwood have been resting players since round 11, so I don't see what the issue is here.
Also, in last year's finals, Port Adelaide rested players against Richmond. Just in a second. Actually, after the coin toss, after that was the idea.
Ross has got form here. 2013, he did the same thing. They rested about 8 or 9 going down to Tassie to play St Kilda. Got absolutely towed up by the Saints. And then the first week of the finals, they have to go to Cardinia Park to play Geelong. And what happened down there? They absolutely flogged Geelong down there. So it works. If it's not compromising the integrity of the competition, then why shouldn't they be able to be the masters of their own destiny?
If you finish on top, you should be allowed to do whatever you want.
Tell you who could have a week have a week off. He could have a month off. Is Adam Simpson.
Why?
Well, have you seen the number of people in his box?
This is extraordinary footage. I'm not sure if he's coaching a game of football or launching a space shuttle. Do you reckon they're actually all got a job, or he's just getting his mates into the footy for free? Here, put this top on. You'll be right. Just sit here.
That's not a footy stuff. That's a jury.
But what about North Melbourne v Richmond? I mean, this is a disgrace. It's our home game that's being played at Etihad Stadium, and we're in this position where we want to win and they want to lose, and as such, they can afford to drop half their side.
Yeah,
right?
but if results go according to plan, and their position can change. So it's a slightly different situation than the one that confronts Fremantle, but it's unlikely that they're going to win or lose, go anywhere but 8. So Brad Scott's fully entitled, probably, to argue the same case that Fremantle's. You know, there was a little theory about North Melbourne to rest 6 or 7 this week, and they'd put in a whole lot of scrubs who just go
Hey. Don't call Matt Jackdaw that.
Put in
Senior player.
No. You know what I mean. You know, sort of, the players who aren't regulars in the first 22, to just rouse you blokes up a little bit, trying to get
Koch to Dustin Martin's grill.
Get him suspended for the week after.
Oh, that's just terrible. There's a lot at stake. We do not want to go to Adelaide.
I can understand
This is the last year. Did you go to that final?
I did.
You went to Adelaide?
I would rather have gone to Snowtown. I am not joking, this was one of the most horrific experiences of my life. We were so up and then we were so down. I went on the Richmond chartered flight, the Tiger Express, and it was the best flight over there. I've never had so much fun. I joined the My Lai Club.
Yeah. Oh, well done. Yeah,
no one else involved, just me. But it was that much fun. And then on the way back, I would rather have been on the Hindenburg. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, some people were saying that Daniel Menzel, after that unbelievable comeback to footy last week, some people early in the week were seriously suggesting that Geelong should put him in cotton wool for the rest of it. He's made the comeback. Don't risk him in the final game. Some people are actually saying this.
Fair enough. I think Geelong want him fresh for the NAB Cup.
The guy's been waiting for 4 years to play footy.
Yeah.
He gets 2 games and now has to put in a pre-season.
You'd be hard-pressed to come up with a better story than this for 2015, I reckon.
Unbelievable. Takes a big mark. And look, what's this, Stevie Johnson? Give it to me! Give it to me! Seriously, 4 years. Do you mind if I have a kick on goal?
The poor bloke. Where does it rank in the all-time great AFL comebacks, VFL/AFL comebacks? 4 Ricos and a couple of hamstrings. It's unbelievable.
Good comeback. It's not the best comeback this year. James Hird comeback from France was a pretty good comeback. That was a
That was wonderful, wasn't
That
it?
was a good comeback.
What about Hutto? Remember, you blokes are probably too young to remember
I
this.
remember Hutto.
He hadn't played.
Is this the one where he chop it in?
Yeah, they flew up from Glenorchy.
Him and Bronwyn Bishop came in on the same chopper to this game. They just flew in.
He hadn't played for 2.5 years. He'd done his knee. He was about 25 kilos overweight. He came back and played Collingwood at
Do
Waverley.
not torpedo that.
Mate, that's just
Dude,
arrogant.
I'm telling you.
Torpedo! He kicked 8.
He kicked
He
it.
kicked
And
8.
then what happened?
That was the last game he played. Never played again.
What,
Am I right in saying that? I
did
think
they
I'm
rest
right.
him the week after?
I just think he did what he had to do, and that was it. Went back to Tassie and retired.
It's not a bad comeback, I tell you, because that is you come back and kick 8. That's just amazing. But see, there are comebacks that don't have the fairy tale aspect that Peter Hudson did.
Well, name one.
Oh, Plugger Lockets. So Plugger finished in '99, and then in 2002 he came back for 3 games, of which he kicked 3 goals. That was his only mark in 3 games, too, by the way.
You know, that was the silent highlight from Plugger's comeback right at the end of that little clip there. Did you see?
What?
That was Tom Williams in the crowd. That was the Tom Williams in the crowd.
Guy from Footscray.
No.
Tom Williams.
I don't know, some bloke on TV, him.
I didn't recognise him with his shirt on.
Yeah, round 23 is always a bit sad, isn't it? I think the game's got really good at farewelling champions, and we've had a few already give it away. And this week again, we've had a whole raft of outstanding players say goodbye.
Goodbye. Good riddance. Thanks for nothing. Way to check, please. No, Geelong, they don't deserve a lap of honour. The whole career has been one big highlight reel. They've hogged all the good stuff. Get out.
Who are we talking about?
We're
Which
talking
ones?
about Kelly and Stokes are gone. Stevie J. I mean, this is the non-stop, never-ending story. But I think it's fair to suggest that he won't be playing another game in the Geelong jumper after this round.
What's with that? How old are those blokes? Do you know?
30, 31, 32, sort of in that ballpark.
Right. No idea is the answer.
No, well, they're in that sort of, So the
Yeah.
big spruik is that he wants to play on, Stevie Johnson, and that maybe your club might be the big suitor. Are you happy about this?
Well, get Stephen Jurica back.
You've been burnt with Stevie J.
Eureka!
It's got all the hallmarks of a disaster. I mean, you have a look at Chappie, you have a look at those. They're one club players, and they go into a lap of honour at another club, and generally you don't get all the good stuff.
It's undeniable, though, that the player who's had a great career at one club, if when they go towards the end, like Chappie, you mentioned Chappie, he doesn't look quite right in an Essendon jumper.
True, I agree.
And I would argue that Footscray great Doug Hawkins didn't look quite right in a Fitzroy jumper when he finished his last year because he felt he had another year, so he went to Fitzroy and he played in every game.
He still kicked the ball, right?
Yeah, he was, but it just doesn't look quite right.
What about Mick McGuan? Collingwood great, goes to Carlton. Not only does he go to Carlton, he plays one of his 3 games at Carlton in the M&M's jumper. Yeah, he's still sitting at home going, good move, Mickey, well done. No, well played.
He doesn't have his Collingwood Premiership jumper framed, but he's got that M&M jumper framed. I'm not kidding you.
Dermot's another one.
What happened with Derby?
Well, Dermot he went from Hawthorn, the great days at Hawthorn.
Oh, yeah.
First of all,
This was sad.
we thought he was going to make a massive impact at Sydney. We thought he was so totally committed to the Swans.
Yeah.
Who can forget the day he came off the ground after his first game? Have a listen to the man drinking the Kool-Aid.
These blokes have got real character, real heart. These are real blokes.
Passionate stuff.
That's test commitment to
That
it.
is commitment. Also, he said the same thing when he was at Collingwood 6 months later.
Round 23 is upon us. Final time we'll see it in the home
The
and away
traditional
season.
round 23.
Yeah.
That doesn't even sound right.
No, it doesn't. Friday night's a big one. Of course, you blokes taking on North. We'll probably get to
It's
see
our
them.
home game, which is at Etihad.
Can you let it go, please?
We don't want to go to Adelaide. Do you know that the Dalai Lama refused to get off a plane in Adelaide? I'm not making it up. He flew in and they landed the plane. He went, "This ain't right." I'm not making this up. I'm getting bad vibes, and off they went.
The Dalai Lama said like that, this isn't right. Like he did the wobble hands and everything, did he?
I'm glad the Dalai Lama wasn't there for the Port final. He would have been vindicated.
It's the last time we're going to see a lot of teams for the season. It's probably worth just spending a second or two on a couple of those that we're not going to see anymore. Carlton, we spent a bit of time talking about the Blues on this show this year.
Carazzo's he's hanging up the...
No, are you going to become an umpire?
You know what he's going to do?
What?
He's going to realise when he gets home he's the father of triplets and apply to play again next year. It's going to dawn on him quick sticks. The chemistry between these 3 is quite amazing. This is the new Brains Trust at Carlton, and I tell you what, Yeah, this year was bad.
First dates are tough, Nick. You know that, don't you? Like, there's not almost... This is nice. They're sharing a meal.
Oh, I should put a picnic blanket down there. Before we move on, it's just I know, and we need to address this, it's Gold Coast. We know they've had an eventful year as a team.
Yes, of course, yes.
Where do you send them on their inter-season trip and make it safe?
Well, this is a
So
very...
they're trouble, they're kids.
Well, this is
They were
a very,
told.
it's
They
a
were
very
told.
topical question you asked, because the footy department hierarchy this week said, righto, boys, this is the last game of the year. Keep the behaviour sound over the off-season. So where would you send them?
Dalesford. Dalesford, go play in the Lavender Farms. Stay off Tinder.
Bit of scheduling, genius. If you want to finish your 2015 home and away season with a bang, what better way to do it than to schedule Melbourne taking on the Giants at Etihad Stadium with the early game on Sunday, Father's Day?
I would rather get an old pair of socks for Father's Day. Now listen,
All roads lead to Docklands.
look at these jumpers. I saw this last week. This is up there for one of the worst jumpers ever. It looks like 18 blokes in a sub-vest.
You know what?
That's a very bad call, Melbourne. Very bad call.
That's why they got off to a slow start last week. None of them knew if they were on or not. No, Father's Day, of course. Father's Day.
Happy
Yeah, Father's Day. Yeah,
Happy
oh, yeah, you
Father's
too.
Day.
Yeah, you
Father's
too.
Day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, Fletch. You know, last week we had Dustin Fletcher's book.
What's it called again?
Well, it's called Fletch. Which was he's lucky Adrian Fletcher didn't write an autobiography. Otherwise, that title would have been gone. But that seems to be a kind of a pattern with footballers if they do write an autobiography. Justin Madden's was called Harry.
Yes.
David Rees-Jones's was called Reese.
Okay, go figure.
Darren Mullane's.
Pants.
Pants.
Who else you got?
Steve Kernahan.
Sticks.
Greg Williams.
Can I say something?
Please.
Sticks is one of the great Australian novels. I'm not joking. No, I mean this.
Really?
I mean this. It is one of the great reads, and I'm not a Carlton fan, as you know, but this from cover to cover is an absolute one to get the kids and get them excited about the game. But it's no joke. I mean it. It is fantastic. I wanted to get a talking book version of Sticks, but I couldn't organise it because it didn't exist, so I got Sticks to sit by my bed and read it. I used to, it's true.
All right. Well, I just my point is that
It's a great book.
When the footballers do write their autobiographies, they don't seem to be overly creative with their titles. Because the cricketers are the ones that absolutely nail it. Talking about Dennis Lillies, over and out. Greg Chappell's, unders and overs.
Where are you getting these from, by the way?
I stole them. Rod Marsh's gloves, sweat and tears. Come on. That is a great one.
Boys, another week done and dusted. We've got a couple of weeks off before we come back for the grand final extravaganza. Looking forward to that enormously.
Cannot wait.
Going to be massive.
Tides will be in it.
We will see you then here at the All Nations Hotel, thanks to the magnificent brewery Fresh Carlton Draft.